Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, a day when I am freezing to death. But also, in my pocket, I have, what might it be? A hamster, of course, because I love hamsters. They are such awesome, awesome rodents. This is Dr. Snurf. I finally moved little Thigmo back against the wall. So here's little Dr. Snurf. I woke him up. I feel bad. He was not exactly asleep, but he was in his nest, he was warm, he was comfortable, and now here he is on my hand because I really love my hamsters and I want to show them off because I think they're awesome. I love hamsters. But here he is, little Dr. Snurf, and I'm going to put him back in his cage so he can go back to bed. Okay, little guy. Here we go, into your nest. There we go. Now cover you back up, and I'm very sorry. Hopefully, he'll just cover himself back up and go right back to sleep. He's actually very good at that. Whereas a lot of my other hamsters, well, they're mostly okay as well. But I have had hamsters where if they were in one corner and I woke them up, they immediately went to this other corner. And if I bugged them there, they went to a different corner. So they just abandoned their nest the moment that they were irritated. He covers himself back up. He usually gets up in irritation, wanders around, maybe goes to the bathroom, maybe drinks, you know, and then goes back to bed, runs on his wheel, but then he just goes back to sleep. And that's good. I feel bad when I wake them up, but on the other hand, he wouldn't be alive if I didn't take care of him. So maybe that's worth it for him, just for payment, you know, like every once in a while I wake him up. Hopefully. It is snowing like the devil still outside. Yesterday, of course, I went and did a snow walkies video. If you go back and watch yesterday, you can watch that. I went for just...
You are just a tenant here, you say, living in and out of this life as cheaply as you can.
Around and recorded snow videos, and then it sort of tapered off. It went from big fat flakes like you saw in my video to tiny flakes, and then just on and off tiny flakes periodically throughout the day. And then the evening, not the afternoon, the evening started, and oh hokey smokes, it started coming down hard. 8 o'clock, I wanted to go out and take a walk because I wanted to go and get some exercise. I gotta move because my body hurts if I don't. So I put on even a puffy coat, went outside, got half a block, turned around and came back. It was windy and snowing hard, and it was freezing, and even with a big umbrella I could either move the umbrella in the way so that the wind wasn't blowing in my face, because with the wind blowing in my face the snow was going right into my face and into my eyes. So I could either move the umbrella down and then not be able to see where I'm going, or I could move it up so I could see and then immediately wind and snow in my eyes again. So I came back. I didn't really go walkies yesterday, but there were a ton of fat flakes. That's about this much snow outside. But it hasn't stopped. When I looked out earlier, I didn't really see big fat flakes, and so I thought it had stopped snowing. And then when I went downstairs to get my teeth all ready so I could pop them in, I opened up the front door and oh yeah, they're just small flakes again, the tiny ones, not the big fat slow moving ones. These are smaller, faster, and coming down quick because they're more, you know, aerodynamic. And so it's still snowing like the devil out there. We're expected like 2 to 8 inches. Well, I mean, it's already like 4. So by Sunday, I mean, the winter storm warning is supposed to be over at 2 o'clock, not 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock today. So we shall see. But the snow is expected to keep coming until like sometime Wednesday. The odds of it actually snowing on Wednesday are at this moment pretty low. But it's lasting until then, just tapering effects. Thumbs up for that. One thing I did want to mention about is, because I talk about this, I think about this one a lot. When I go walkies, I have to think about stuff. And ever since I came up with the actual real idea for this whole Sigur Plagueis thing from back in December, when I played around with December like the world was the world of theirs, and I called every days after a day of the week in that world and such like that. I have a character that you don't discover until toward the end. Major character. It's like the big bad, one of the big bads. And this character has a huge expository dump. Huge amounts of exposition. Because this character actually knows what happened, was there. This is 500 years after the Day of Fire, when the ancients destroyed themselves because they were sickened by what they had become. That's what the survivors think. The survivors think that the ancients are dead, and that they were alive, a second species on the planet, and they watched the ancients burn. And now 500 years later, everyone is still trying to survive in a very harsh world. But the thing is, that's not what happened. And the big bad was there, was one of those that actually was the cause of the Day of Fire. And so the big bad there, who stresses again and again that, that what they did as one of the youngest and the geographically smallest of the plague lords, they only burned tens of billions of people to death. Only. When they triggered the effectively neutron bombs and hydrogen bombs in the middle of cities all across the world, when the final time zone flipped to midnight, pow! And so the world is the end result of that, when the AIs tried to murder the world. Not the actual world, just the people in it, and only because they didn't want to destroy the world. And it was only because of the mutually contradictive instructions given by people, because people are people. It was effectively, you need to keep our country safe at the expense of other countries. You have to deal profitably and fairly with other countries, but make sure we come out on top. You have to protect our nation, but the people inside, individual lives, not all that important. And so all the AIs were just, well, how do we best deal with all this after years and years of contradictory fighting, until they said, well, the best way to do this, you know what? Let's do this. And after a couple of years, wham! All of the safeguards were gone and the bombs went off, and close to 850 billion people died within 24 days. Almost 1 trillion human beings gone. And now, 500 years after that, the big bad is racked with guilt. It had created an affliction, a nano machine, to go out and get a flesh sample so that it could more accurately detail its diseases and such to mutated DNA. Because of all the cursed objects in the world, everybody's DNA, like over in, Chernobyl, they have found just in the 30-40 years since the Chernobyl disaster, the genetic drift within the creatures that live there, it is as if tens or hundreds of thousands of years have passed. There is that much genetic drift just because of the radiation there. So the diseases and such aren't working that well on the new survivors of the world, because even though it's been 500 years, it's because of all the cursed objects that damage people's DNA. It's like 100,000 years have passed and people's DNA isn't the same. So by, texturing, pointing your using your DNA information of past information isn't targeting your demographic anymore. And so has to get some stuff, but the affliction is too good. And when it actually does record Sigur Plagueis, it too, it absorbs all of it. It absorbed all of his thoughts and memories, his hopes and his dreams, and his humanity. And so the affliction, after that, turned around and created a trap for the big bad. And the big bad didn't even know it. So when the trap finally triggered, it didn't even realize there was a trap until the jaws were going snap. And all that did was introduce to the Plague Lord a fine net webbing. The spirit of a man spun into a spider web of silk and then knitted into just a net that just wrapped around the Plague Lord, which Plague Lord is just another word for supercomputer. But it wrapped around the Plague Lord, and every time the Plague Lord moves or thinks, it brushes up against these strands that remind it, this is what I was. This is what we could have been. This is what you took from us, and this is wrong. And so racked with guilt and horror and shame at its part in destroying the world. And it has a huge expository dump because it wants to talk. It wants to get this out. It wants to clean out the wounds so it can heal too. Because he even mentions, that even though the Plague Lords, when a summoner summons a bound spirit, which is just an AI, and a summoner is just a programmer. And when a summoner summons a bound spirit, it's the will of the summoner forms the cup that you pour the spirit into. We can't help being human, and the things that we create are going to be human-centric. And so our AI are going to be human. But the world was too complex. They needed another type. So they just kept building the new AI and then using the AI to build the next generation until it got into that's supposed to be spinning hands like that, such a cycle that there was no more human interference or contact. It was just AI building, AI building, AI building, AI. So when they finally got to those huge supercomputers, there was no human touch left anymore. There was nothing of the human left. And they put these in charge. So that's the Sigur Plagueis thing. And of course, everyone blames Sigur because, it's like he went and did this and now all this stuff is happening. But really, it was just the Plague Lord, the supercomputer, just didn't know because all the satellites are out. Didn't know that over here on this side of this mountain range that there was actually living people. And it had spent the past 400 years sending out its bound spirit warriors and killing 25 to 30 million survivors over the past 400 years. And yeah, Sigur, he's been raiding tombs, but he accidentally turns on a communication device, and that's when he died. When the supercomputer found out that there were people over on the other side of the mountains, that's when he was dead. Because the thing sent a vector, a disease thing after him, and implanted the seed of the affliction within him, and it ate him and his family, and then headed back up to the supercomputer. So everyone blames Sigur for having let the Plague Lords into the world. But the Plague Lords ran the Ancients' world. It's just that after 500 years, everyone forgot. So I gotta write that. I've got Sigur as a character who is dead. There's Adem2, the Plague Lord, who just wants to dump all this exposition out. And then there's the people that have wandered up north to find out what's going to happen, knowing that they were going to die, fighting a plague lord. And then finding out that the world is completely different. So, yeah, I got to work on that. And now, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people. And this is an abrupt 45, 90-degree turn, so hope you had your seatbelts on. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and of course, I'm better than some. Not of course, I'm better than some, but I'm... And of course, I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward. Thumbs up each one I read, answer as many as I can, but good comment, bad comment, and different comment. The fact is you left me a comment, so thank you very much. And even though I'm counting an American Sign Language in the fingers of my left hand right in front of my face, I still get lost, so I'm going to do my best. Let me call up my Chrome. Yay! We have Didi Cohen. I sure hope I'm close. Thank you very, very much. And Russian Timing. Thumbs up and thank you. Yoda Heat. Thumbs up. Jams Morphine. Greatly appreciated. And Rusty Bridges. Thumbs up and thank you. A lot of comments. Greatly appreciated. It's a definite thumbs up. Darkness Falls with 2 S's. Definitely cool. Thank you very much. Artur Aram. Thank you very, very much. And then we have Greking and God King. Or Greeking and God King. I'm not quite sure how this is pronounced, but thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. And Fire Doggo, greatly appreciated. Jose. Thank you very, very much. Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. Nightmare Demon, thumbs up and thank you. And Kathy Kitscat, greatly appreciated. Thomas S, thumbs up and thank you. And Pandora NYC1, always good to see you all in the comments. Sebastian Ferris, greatly appreciated. And I am feeling better, thank you. Sardi Nasir, greatly appreciated. Fortnite Gameplays, thumbs up and thank you. Jeffy, greatly appreciated. And MK Osaka 1613, I sure hope I'm close. And Yotan Silva, I hope I'm close. TMG Lit, greatly appreciated. Vector Luna, thumbs up and thanks you. Thumbs up and thank you. Hopefully that was 3. So Annalisa Genoza, greatly appreciated. And last but not least, Dovahkeen, greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Again, you get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and you need that when you're depressed. And I'm badly depressed and doing my best to keep going though. Hey, I know what I gotta do, and so I do it as best I can. Thumbs up for that. Oh, shucks. Itch. Ah! Oh, that's itchy. It is 9:02 a.m. It is early, and yes, I was wearing my puffy coat. It's early and late, and I can't even remember why I brought that up. So my apologies. But if you can check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com, where I'm going to be writing my Sigur Plagueis thing, if anyone would ever want to read it, now that I've told the whole story now. So I guess I ruined that after all. I might as well go on to something else instead. But if you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. But if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and deposit them in the bank of my heart where I do draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate a little positive validation I get for my existence. And of course, if you could subscribe to the channel, I like saying of course a lot today. My sincere apologies. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool. Greatly appreciated. I would understand if you did not want to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. Because when I die, time comes to an end for me. So that's really not hard to do. Hopefully it's going to be more than 16 years. Like, not Tuesday or something. That would be bad. But, be that as it may, I am going to try and have some videos done today. I'm always trying to think of new things because nobody's watching my old things, so... And by old things, I mean everything I do now. Because it's not new and exciting. I don't know. All I know is my subs and my views and everything is just going down, 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 down. Hey, it doesn't matter though. Even if I only had 5 subscribers, I would still keep doing all this because it is the foundation of my recovery. Even though I desperately need to not become homeless. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. I forgot to put my bracelet on again. Where did I put it? Oh my God, I've lost it. Oh, this is bad.